humid, actually hot, humid day here. We're up in the Boston area. So, this is actually technically my first event as president of AMA Boston. How about that? I have to following Emily's footsteps and all those rocking events that we've had over the past year. And what a way to get it started with An Junyan from Texas. And we're going to be talking a lot tonight about something that's near and dear to my heart, LinkedIn. Show up, right? I'll tell you, LinkedIn is the de facto branding for all professionals today, and really looking forward to get some nuggets here tonight from An and others.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm
Yeah.
excited to dive into this. And so if you guys are okay with it, I'll get started. Unless you've Emily or Paul, you have announcements or other business that you need to announce before I get started. Okay. Fantastic. Bear with me, guys. I normally use Canva. I think you guys may be familiar with it, right? To share, but because I don't have a second screen, I can't see anybody when I do that. And so it's a PDF. And so let me know in the chat if anything goes awry, because I wanted an opportunity to still see all of your faces and engage with you and in the chat. And so like I said, it's a PDF and I hope this works. So welcome. First off, I'd love for you to drop in the chat where you're from and what your role is. If you're a marketing professional, I think the majority of folks, I hear an echo, Paul. I'm
Yeah,
so
I
sorry.
was wondering, if everyone could put their mics on mute, if you don't mind. Sorry about that. On.
No, that's okay. No, I was just like, okay, there we go. No worries. And so, like I said, hopefully nothing's gone awry. Will go awry with this PDF format. If you would drop in the chat where you're from and what your role is, if you're a marketing professional, if you are in another vertical in another industry, I'd love to just get an idea of what everyone's doing in their profession. And I'm gonna go through this presentation with a few assumptions. One, that you are already on LinkedIn. You do not need my help on, you need to have this in your profile photo. So I'm going to share in a little bit what you can expect from this presentation. Massachusetts B2B marketing executive. Yay, I've been in B2B marketing for a very long time as well. Hello, my friend Amy from Dallas. Concord, Mass. Emily, Cambridge, marketing. It looks like a trainer, facilitator. Hey, Katrina, thanks for joining us. So apparently my LinkedIn posts are working because I see folks in here that I know from other areas of my life. Awesome. I am so excited that you all are here. I was super excited to hear about the so many different registrations. So let's get started. So as I mentioned, I'm already working with the assumption that you are on LinkedIn. We're all professionals. We've all been on LinkedIn for a very long time. I've been on LinkedIn since probably the first year that they became a thing, became a platform, because I thought, what a cool way to connect with my clients and other people I know. It took me a very long time to realize that people were using the platform to find jobs. I had not thought of it as a job searching type of platform. And really, it was for me all about the connection with people that I knew in a professional format, because it wasn't like Facebook, it wasn't Twitter, or any of those other platforms. And so I wanted to share just a few points of what you can expect tonight. Why LinkedIn still matters, even for us marketers who are steeped in social media and marketing all day. Definitely want to share what's new, what's working, and encourage you to try some things in the content space that you may not have tried before. Just some simple, quick tips to help make your profile really pop and work harder for you. And if any of you manage a company page for, say, a client or have your own company page, I'm going to share some simple updates for it as well. And then just a few examples and a checklist to go. But first, I wanted to drop this link to a worksheet that everybody can use. And it's really just a way to help you work through how to enhance your profile. So let me, and I should have dropped it in sooner when Jeff and I were talking. Oh gosh, I'll have to find the, oh, you know what? I have it on one of the slides. We'll see it here in just a second. There we go. I was like, wait, I know I put it up here for you guys. So it's a Google Doc worksheet that should ask you to make a copy of it for yourself. So that way you can just copy it right into your files or download it to work on it. And there's the link for it. I love seeing all the marketing specialists and different roles. I love it. Thank you. And so that means that a lot of you speak my language as well. And then, so what are your goals for LinkedIn? What are your goals tonight? Or what's the biggest challenge that you have with LinkedIn? Again, love for you to drop it in the chat. Wanting to see if perhaps we can address some of that as well. I'm going to give y'all a second to drop that in there. Like I said, your goals for LinkedIn as a whole, your goals perhaps for this webinar tonight, reaching engagement. Suzanne, you are not alone. I hear that often. Yes, Karen. Yeah, drop your LinkedIn URL as well. Tips on the timeline. Oh, the feed. Yes. I've seen several posts where they're like, why is my feed showing stuff from weeks ago? And some of the things I share here may give you some insight onto why that's happening. Finding new opportunities, board positions, I love it. New connections, absolutely. Love it. Sharing content, learning from each other. Awesome. So it sounds like most of us are on the same page as to what our goals are and what the usage of LinkedIn is for us. So LinkedIn still matters. I know for a while, activity and engagement was dropping off. People were just like, this is just an echo chamber. Why should I be on LinkedIn? But it still definitely matters because it is where people learn, connect, and trust each other, as we've seen in the chat, right? All of the goals that we have. And this is, think of it as a reputation platform. It's not just about finding a job. It's where you can build your personal brand and not just increase that reach, but in building your personal brand, you will increase your reach. I don't know if you all are familiar with who Richard Vanderblom is. I will share a link to his LinkedIn profile page a little further down. He is I guess a guru is the best word, but he every year publishes a 250 plus page LinkedIn report. And so today I'm going to share some of those insights from his findings and his research, his very thorough research. And so it's the too long didn't read version for you guys. I'm going to share what I think is important so that you don't have to go read 250 plus pages and all of his insights. But he's definitely a great person to follow because he does share a lot of really valuable information and insights freely without you having to download or purchase his report. And then this last statistic, I was kind of suspect about it because it is from LinkedIn themselves. And of course, they want to make themselves sound good. But I did some additional digging, and it truly is a valid statistic that 4 out of 5 LinkedIn members drive business decisions. So if you're using it to find clients, to find collaborators, to find referral partners, this is definitely the place to continue to build that community and build that, interest-driven conversation. So what's new, what's working, and what to try next? So what's new? Because things are constantly changing with the algorithm. I'm really almost tired of hearing people say, oh, it's the algorithm, it's causing my content not to be seen. And as marketing professionals, for many of us, we probably think it has to do with the quality of your content as well. Yes, the algorithm does play a factor in it, but it does, the quality of your content is an even bigger factor in your content not being seen, not just the algorithm itself punishing you. So think of it this way. When you first post something, your post is scanned immediately by LinkedIn, right? You're going, wow, it hasn't even gone live yet. But LinkedIn scans it for structure, because structure matters, for style. And then right after you've posted too, they're checking for spam or kind of clickbaity type of content. Those kind of things absolutely punish or get punished by the algorithm. And then who's heard of the golden hour after you post on LinkedIn? Well, it's now no longer just an hour, it's the golden window. So it's really the first, I would say 60 to 90 and max 120. So a couple hours after you post. So think of it that way. And so during that golden window, it's really important for your community to really connect and engage with that piece of content. And it's gone beyond just likes or reactions. What the algorithm finds very valuable is a comment, and not just some generic comment that says, great post, good read, or those AI suggested comments that you may see on LinkedIn now. It is intentional, thoughtful comments that help that post to continue to be seen. And it tells LinkedIn's algorithm that, hey, this is good quality content. And then the next thing that you should think about is that 8-hour recheck. So 8 hours after you've posted, if you're still getting attention, LinkedIn's going to give you a little visibility boost. And what that just means for you is that it's a little more reach. It's a little more engagement. And Jeff, I hope this answers your question about why am I seeing stuff that was posted before, right? Because we'll get to the 24-hour cutoff here in a second too. So how do you help yourself with this 8-hour recheck? Is your content asking open-ended questions? Is it what I like to call, instead of a CTA, a CTE, right? Does it include a call to engage? And so that it continues to have people engage with you. But also, have you gone back and engaged with the comments that people have made? Because that is also a signal to LinkedIn's algorithm. So it's no longer just post and you're gone and you don't think about it anymore. Replying and commenting back to people is also very important. And then at the 24-hour cutoff, so 24 hours after you post, or when you post again, whichever comes first, it's going to diminish your original post, right? So if you want your post to still be seen, kind of give yourself that time to share another post afterwards. Don't share 2 or 3 posts within a 24-hour time span, because it is going to punish essentially your content from being seen. And then hashtags. It was a thing. It wasn't a thing. It is a thing. Are they? What the heck, right? So hashtags are not quite dead. They are still useful for search. They're still useful if, say, you are at an event, a conference, a trade show, you're at a trade show for yourself or for your clients. That trade show, that event's hashtag is still very useful to find the content around that event and to have those conversations. LinkedIn has made search a little more easy. You no longer have to use a hashtag. You can use keywords. And we'll talk a little bit more about, keyword heavy search and content. All right. So what's working? What the heck is dwell time? Anybody know? Go ahead and drop it into the comment if you do. And then swipe depth for carousels. Who else is using carousels? I'd love to hear back from you about the usage of carousels as well. So dwell time is just really how long someone actually stops to read your content. This is how good LinkedIn algorithm has gotten. It can tell how long you're there, and it can tell how long you've stayed there. And it's just like on your website. If the view time is increased, that means that they're reading the content. So in LinkedIn's terminology, it's dwell time. And then, yay, Unric, love it. Would love to hear about your engagement from that as well. And so swipe depth for carousels just means how far along did they swipe in your carousel? And that just means the further they get in your carousel, your content is interesting to your viewers, to your community. Save rate. This is a new thing. I save posts and things all the time because I want to get back to read it, right? Because I may see something interesting and I may not be able to read everything right away. But it now signals to LinkedIn that this is interesting content, especially if you're saving a carousel, if you're saving somebody's post. So that's an important factor to consider. Post appeal. Well, that's why we're all here, right? We want to share appealing post and content. So think about the format of your post, the tone, the clarity, the structure. Steer clear from spam, steer clear from anything that could be viewed as clickbait, because not only does it turn off your viewers in your audience, it actually turns off LinkedIn's algorithm as well. And then what's this follower connection ratio all about? So you may have seen, you have people who've connected with you, but may not necessarily have hit that button to follow you. Now, you're connected. Why wouldn't they already follow your stuff? Well, it's important because it signals to LinkedIn that you want to follow their content. So not only do you want to connect with someone, you want to make sure you're following that person's content. And I'll show again a little later on kind of the little icon where you can find that. And then performance history. LinkedIn does keep track. It keeps track of how well your content has been doing. And if nobody's engaging, nobody's making meaningful comments and thoughtful comments back to your content, LinkedIn's going to go, hey, this person's content is very low on the value scale. And so it tamps down why or how it is seen in the feed. Any questions thus far? Awesome. So I want to get you guys to be curious and not feel overwhelmed about what to try next. Anric just mentioned that he did his first carousel. So when I'm talking about these different types of content and things to try next, I'd love for you to share with me if you've done it, if you shared this type of content, and what your experience has been, right? Video, video, and video is still the top ranking content for engagement. And if you are afraid of video, I'm here to share with you. We can certainly workshop some stuff and help you get over that fear. I don't know if you've noticed that in your LinkedIn app at the bottom, there is now a video icon because they are now engaged or have committed to, I should say, vertical video, very much similar to Instagram stories, Reels, TikTok, right? And when they first rolled this out, they had a whole library of already vertical videos from their LinkedIn influencers and others. And so there was some great content that was still very LinkedIn appropriate, business appropriate. And for the most part, I feel like those vertical videos are still there. I have seen some lately where I've gone, okay, that really belongs over on Instagram and not here. So I really encourage you to check that out. And if you are hesitant about, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this vertical video, I don't want to do this story, do a recorded old-fashioned horizontal video and at least share that. And some of the things that you can share on video are FAQs that you get from clients or your internal stakeholders, right? Use them as opportunities for micro learning and share your expertise. Carousel posts, those do really well still, but they do need to be structured appropriately. So don't create a carousel post with a ton of text on every single frame, because people are not going to stop to read that much text. Use it for 2-3 points that you want to share with folks in a way to help them, again, answer some FAQs that you normally get or some quick how-tos. I encourage you to take a look at your last 5 posts and review those analytics and see what it tells you. I'm, again, making the assumption that the majority of you are using creator mode so that you can get this analytics in your personal profile. And if you are not, I encourage you to go ahead and do so. And if you need help with that, just message me separately and I'm happy to help with that. And then think of it as a call to engage rather than a call to action. So your content should have open-ended questions at the end, not just thoughts about this. Really ask, for example, the other day I shared a post about letting go of Zoom. And at the end, I said, what have you guys let go of in your tech stack because they're redundant tools? Well, I got a bunch of answers. And so that was a really well-performing post. And I did it because really it wasn't because I wanted engagement. I thought about it. How many tools are we using that are redundant now? And how can we get rid of it from our stack? Share behind the scenes or values-based stories. And then how many of you are really utilizing that featured section? Don't use it just for promoting something, but again, when you're auditing your post, if you found one that does really well, has performed really well, include it in your featured section. If you have been featured in an article or a podcast or anywhere else, add it to the featured section. Don't just put links back to your website, because people can go read your website at any time. This is an opportunity for you to shine. So use it to the best of the ability that it has. All right. So let's talk about your profile a little bit. Do you think your profile pops? I hope so. I hope you do. And I hope that these few tips will help you, right? So let's talk about going just beyond just the basics. We all have banners now. It was not a thing in the past. So let the banner kind of set the tone for your profile. And in your headline, tell people who you help and how. And in that worksheet that I shared with you as a resource, there's a prompt to help you to create this headline. And then the about section, share your story and your value. In the past, the about section was very much like a bio, right? It was in the third person bio that you might have found in anybody's speaker kit, or they were being introduced anywhere or on their company website. But now LinkedIn has become a much more personable and personal platform while still maintaining that professional connection. And so the about section is an opportunity for you to share your story and your values. I'm going to give you an example here in the next couple of slides as well. We've mentioned featured section already. Show off the work that you're proud of, and just really make sure that creator mode is turned on. I want to make sure, let me check the chat here and see. Oh, thank you, Erica. Yes, definitely. I always make sure that I share my LinkedIn. So, and I encourage everyone to connect with me. All right. So speaking about that banner. So, and I encourage everyone to connect with this lovely woman. Cami Hoyse is a dear friend and just a fantastic marketer and a PR communications professional. In fact, she recently won the PRSA Houston's Legacy Award. She's generous with her time and just always very supportive. But I love this banner because it speaks to who she is. She's a community builder. She'll tell you right off the bat that's who she is. She's not a marketing professional. She's not a PR professional. She is a community builder who happens to be in marketing and PR. There's her very relevant information, her website, the social media breakfast community that she hosts and organized for the last 15 years. And then the Smart Social Mastery program that is for independent consultants and freelancers like many of us. And so I encourage you to check that out because it's really helped me to refine my own brand within the last 6 months or so that I've been in her program. And so that's her LinkedIn URL. And if you connect with her, I know LinkedIn has done away with the capabilities of leaving a note. If you aren't on the premium account, you only get 5 notes. So if you are not able to leave her a note, at least, connect and then send her a message afterwards to say, your friend Ann Wynn encouraged us to connect with you because you are just an awesome, awesome marketer and someone to learn from. So here's Richard Vanderblom, the gentleman that I mentioned at the very beginning. He has this banner is actually a slide. I did not even know that that was a capability until I was digging around and researching. So that's pretty cool. So if you go check out his website, his LinkedIn profile, you'll see the slides go through of all the relevant things that he does. But his first slide is this because he wants to be known as a keynote speaker. That's the important thing to him. His LinkedIn research is what he speaks about. And then I wanted to share my particular about section. And you guys are from the old school world of newspaper, above the fold, right? Or now on websites above the scroll. So we're allowed all this space for this story. So I have this in here, but really just the very much first sentence, I partner with nonprofits, et cetera, is what's above the fold. And so I hope that that is enough of a hook for people to go click on the more so they can read more of it. And then I share the rest of my journey. And I think it has been because I've had, folks come back and say, I really love the fact that you are a connector, that you are purpose driven, and that you talk about purpose driven marketing and purpose led brands. And so I wanted to share that quickly with you. As an example. Sorry, let me get this chat box out of the way. Okay, so how do you show up with intention on LinkedIn? It isn't, again, about just posting and running away and forgetting, right? You still have to engage and have those conversations. And that is very much what LinkedIn has moved towards, being a very conversation-focused, reputation-driven platform. So how are you showing up? I know that it's a challenge to really be consistent about posting. And when I say consistent, I do not mean that you have to post every single day. So think about your own schedule. What works with you? If it's posting on Monday and Friday, that's great. You're consistent. You're there every week. If it's posting just on Wednesday and perhaps on Saturday, which we're going to chat about here in a minute too, about weekends, that's what's going to be works for you for consistency, then do it as long as it's consistent and you don't go months or years without posting or engaging or being part of the LinkedIn community. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people who are like, oh, I just lost my job, which is sad in itself, right? I was laid off. I wasn't expecting it. But then they go and ask me, well, how do I get involved on LinkedIn now? How do I do this fast? Well, I'm sorry. As we marketers know, marketing and building your reputation is not a sprint, right? It's a marathon. And so they should have been already engaged in LinkedIn well before anything happened. And that's the other aspect of it that I want people to understand. Even if you're working for someone, your personal brand is still very important. So being active with your own personal brand just really helps benefit you. It helps benefit your current employer. It benefits any future employer. And it benefits you if you decide to go out on your own for business, right? So just really, again, sharing content that has short, smart, and aligned with a point of view, making sure that you're engaging like a human and not just, oh, AI, answer this for me. Don't get me wrong. I love AI. I love my chat GPT and it helps me quite a bit. But definitely you can tell, I recently had another post and I had several people like have the exact same response. And basically, it was kind of a little lazy, like just a little click on the AI prompt that LinkedIn gives you. And that's how they answered. So engage like a human because it helps you. It's a value. But also think about the person that you're engaging with. If you're using just that AI prompt, it hurts them too. It hurts their reach. And so if the person that you are commenting on their post for is somebody that you value, somebody that you respect, make sure that you show up for them as well. And then, as I've mentioned it multiple times, thoughtful comments and not just, hey, great post, generic things here and there. Now, here's a quick, just personal branding checklist. You'll get a copy of my slides, so you get this checklist, right? It's just a way to help you kind of keep your consistent flow on LinkedIn. Sharing regularly? Are you speaking clearly to the people you want to reach? Do your posts sound like you? Do you explain how you help or what you care about? And do you engage back when people comment? And I think, with Emily, you were talking about board positions, right? I know most of you or many of you probably volunteer. So that's a really important aspect of your life. Don't be afraid to share that either. What lessons have you learned from volunteering? What lessons have you learned from being a board member or a volunteer leader that you can tie in with business? Because it will resonate with other people as well, because I think most professionals want to give back in some way. And so we've been in that position or are currently in that position. So let's talk a little bit about content and how you can work it with your content, right? So here's some content that connects and performs. Text post with a punchy first line. Make sure you include an image if you can, because those still are very relevant. Again, just as an example of my post the other day where I talked about letting go of Zoom, I found a stock photo of a tech stack, basically little apps on a mobile, and I added it to my post. Short vertical videos. I know you're going to get tired of hearing me say video, 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 but video content performs very highly. It performs at the top of the content pile. Carousels and PDFs again, and then back to thoughtful comments to build your visibility, because it not only gives you a chance to showcase your expertise, right? If you're sharing a thoughtful comment, and so for the person that you're connected to, everybody else that they're connected to that you may not be connected to will see your comment, and that opens up an avenue for conversation. So how many of you manage a company page? I want to see just a raise of your hand, like whether it's a client company page or your own business company page. Yeah, so I think there's probably a lot of us. So there's just some small changes that can hopefully make a big impact for your company page. It's not just a digital brochure for your company. Don't think of it that way. Yes, it is a way for people to learn about your company, but it can also be a base for community engagement with people who are following your brand, your company. We've already talked about image post as a content type to prioritize, but also consistency. I went onto a company page earlier today that was one that LinkedIn had recommended as a great company page, as an example of a great company page. Their posts were 2 months ago, a year ago, 3 weeks ago. There was nothing consistent about it. And I thought, how in the world did LinkedIn recommend this page as something to be an example of? So that was interesting. And I'm going to share actually which page it is with you all in a second. Back to video again. Carousels can absolutely be used on company pages. And if you're not utilizing it on company pages yet, I encourage you to start, because it's a great way to build authority. Again, great way. Think about your company and the solution and the services you sell. What are some FAQs? Think about what we used to do for finding topics for blogs in the past. These are all great things that you can do for carousels. And again, be sure not to make it super text heavy. Just one idea per frame. Avoid text only post. Back to those image posts. They're kind of boring. Nobody really wants to read them. LinkedIn thinks it's boring content and gets penalized. And are y'all tired of those polls yet? The LinkedIn polls, they were all the rage when they first came out, and it was a great way for engagement. But polls may still do well for personal profiles. So don't get me wrong on that part. If you're still utilizing polls periodically, but really thoughtful polls, not just, hey, what are you doing this Friday? Or what are you doing this weekend? But for company pages, polls don't really work as much any longer. And then native content. LinkedIn, like any other platform, wants to keep you on their platform for as long as possible. So what does that mean to us? That means no links on your content. So it's a fine line though. So think of it as a content mixture, right? If you're going to do 3 posts without a link, then drop in another one. Although Richard Vanderblom's most recent research did show that they're no longer penalizing as much content or posts that include a link. In the past, people had to go do a workaround, right? You've seen those linked in the first comments and things like that. So that was the workaround for LinkedIn penalizing us for not native content. And so I think it's worth the A/B testing to see if that's true. And then just some quick wins for your page. You can pin a standout post, something that talks about your mission, your story. Again, if you've got a piece of content on your company page that has done really well in engagement, pin it. Make sure that your cover image and tagline's been refreshed. If you work for a larger company that allows you or enables you to have a pool of people to spotlight your people and the culture. These are all things that I know are not unfamiliar to you. I think it's just good, quick reminders, right? And then rotate out a 30-day content theme / categories. Think about, again, as marketers, we talk about content pillars all the time, and really they're just content categories. So what are some content categories that are relevant for your company? And then create and rotate out the content on a calendar for a 30-day basis. So this is an example of a banner that looks great. And this is actually the company that was not consistently posting. So I was rather disappointed because they had been recommended by LinkedIn themselves. And I went and thought, oh, this is a great banner, right? It tells you everything they do in one brief space, changing insurance, starting with everything. So I would never have thought that a company called Lemonade was in insurance, but they're very clear about what they do. Digital insurance built on social impact. But they still have a lot of work to do on their consistent content. This was another company that was recommended by LinkedIn, FreshBooks. I love their banner. Our mission: execute extraordinary experiences every day to help owners grow. So obviously they work with business owners. And then what was really great was the Life tabs. If you go check out this page, their Life tab includes these company spotlights, which I have a screenshot of here. And it talks about their company culture and other things. And that has been really good content for them. If you guys know of any pages that are doing great, I'd love for y'all to drop it into the chat as well. And then before I close out for questions, I wanted to share just a quick checklist for you. Again, you'll get copies of these slides. And a lot of this is included in the worksheet that I shared with you earlier as well. Make sure that your profile reflects your voice. Does it really truly sound like you? Is it your true point of view? Does it sound personable? And it doesn't sound like you're reading off of a bio from a media kit. And then really aim for a weekly content cadence. I would say, as a good rule of thumb, aim for 2 to 3 posts for the week. If you can only do 1 for the week, just do the 1. Whatever works with your schedule, as I mentioned earlier, but aim for consistency. And then also aim for 3 to 5 thoughtful comments. Now, here's a little hack, if you will. remember that golden window that I mentioned earlier about the first couple of hours when you post something? So according to Richard Vanderblom's research, and he's backed it up again, before you post, if you go and search for content that is really valuable to you and make meaningful comments about 30 minutes before you post, and then again about 30 minutes after, it should help your own content with reach. So that's just a little hack from Mr. Vanderblom there. And again, as a reminder, respond to comments, connect with purpose and intention. And then if you have a company page, is it current? Is it credible? While I would love to explore more about digital insurance, seeing that their content is so old would make me really question whether I want to do business with this company. And then, do you have a clear point of view? What do you want to be known for? I think many of us are marketing professionals, so we want to be known for our acumen and expertise in marketing. But there are other aspects to your personal brand. What's important to you, your values? So what do you support? Do you volunteer somewhere? What are community efforts you support? I promise you, if you share that, you'll find your tribe. You'll find the people who are aligned with your values and your mission, and that does help with finding business as well. And also, here's something to remember. Even if someone doesn't like or react to your content, they're there, they see it. Because I have had, just within the last couple of weeks, I've had 2 or 3 people who I was having conversations with around speaking engagements share with me that they really enjoyed the content that I'd been sharing about purpose-driven marketing, or they had been following me for a while, but I've never seen these folks comment or like or reacted. So people are seeing your content. Remember that. They may not be commenting, they may not be liking, but they see it. So don't get discouraged if you don't get those high numbers. I look at that data, but to me, it's still very much kind of like vanity metrics, right? It just helps me like, oh, okay, this type of content did well, but it's still not going to be the end all be all thing that guides what I post or whether I post it. So I did want to share that with you. And that gets us to the end of our time. I hope that you found, especially the things that are new about the algorithm, the platform, very beneficial and valuable. So do you have any questions? No, Creator is not a premium service and feature at this time, thank goodness. And so I can, again, message me if you need help turning it on, because I don't remember off the top of my head where it is. It's in where you edit your profile. And hopefully it will continue to not be a paid feature, right?
Go marketers, let's get some questions out there. Don't be shy.
Exactly, your marketers. I know you have questions.
There we go.
Good length for videos. Yes, short. So the vertical videos, probably 60 seconds or less. Again, Kenya Kelly, who another great person to follow. She's very much into the TikTok side of things, right? But what she did share is that those vertical videos, micro learning, again, answering those questions, the quick little FAQs, were really popular and engaging content series for her particularly. Oh yes, I got it on the next page. Here we go. So yes, please and connect with me. I'd love to hear more about what you're doing with your content. If you have any questions, things like that. What's the most important metric? It's going to be engagement. Impressions are important, but really engagement, because an engagement beyond just the reactions, right? So because engagement denotes and tells LinkedIn, hey, this person's content is valuable. People are actually really, truly engaging with it and having conversations. Metrics for videos. I see they measure the total hours watched. I think in the past, as far as longer form video, I haven't, to be honest, really dived more into the vertical video. I'm still kind of like you guys, still really just starting because it took me a long time to wrap my head around reels, right? And TikTok and stuff. I asked my teenage niece at the time to help me and she refused to. And so, but stories I love, reels I'm getting the hang of. And so I would love to hear more about your experience with the vertical video so we can learn from each other as well. But one of the things I have done is I do I do 2 live streams monthly. One is called Brandcraft, where I feature small, mighty marketing teams doing amazing things. So if you're interested in being a guest on that, let me know. And then I have another one I call Purpose Amplified, featuring purpose-driven individuals and organizations, because that's very important to me. So what I've done is I've taken that long form video, because I use StreamYard to live stream and I get the video and I drop it into a tool called Opus Clips. I love this tool. It is an AI powered tool and it creates vertical social media clips for me. I can tell it how long I want it to be. I can give it keywords, but really I kind of just let it go and do its thing because it's that good. And it creates the captions for you and you can brand it. You can add your branding. So you've got your logo and your brand colors. The most important piece of it for me was making sure that I have the captions, because remember, most people, when they're watching your video, especially if they're on mobile, they have the sound off. And so captions are very important. Reposting with thoughts still penalized compared to just reposting. No, reposting with thoughts is better than just reposting. Just reposting is considered a reaction, right? So, so definitely sharing your own 2 cents on something when you repost is a great way to be valuable, but also showcase your subject matter expertise. I know it's so easy just to hit repost, but think about what you want to share with people and how you want to show up. Any tips for when you feel stuck and don't know what to post about? Oh my goodness, yes, that is like the ever-ending cycle, right? So what I have done for myself is I've sat down with the help of my chat GPT and really decided and helped me create what those content categories are. I talk about marketing all the time and talk about these things. And so using those categories has helped me to decide, okay, this is the type of content I want to share. I hope that helps. Cammie's group has been really helpful with that as well. I promise she's not giving me any kind of affiliate fee for it, but Cammie's group or any group similar to that, which really makes you sit down and kind of do that work and think about the content, also is helpful. The name of the AI tool is Opus Clips. Let me drop it into, I think it is Opus Pro AI or something like that, but it's Opus Clips. It's about $20 a month, so not too expensive unless they've gone up recently. Yes, thank you, Erica. So literally the first time I tried it out, you know how they give you the free trial? It was such a great tool. I was like, here, take my money, because that's how good it was. And it still has, and they just continue to improve the tool. And I really enjoy continuing to use it. Can you get access to all the metrics if you don't have creator mode? No, ma'am. Let's see. What content do you suggest for people who want to break into marketing and are a current grad student? So I don't know if you remember one of the points. What do you want to be known for? That's the type of content you want to share. Just had this exact conversation with a fellow video marketing, a marketing colleague, but her focus was only on video marketing previously. And she's making that pivot, that shift to being in internal comms. And so she was worried that so much of her content was around video marketing, and what should she do moving forward. So I suggested that she definitely focus on internal comms, what she wants to be known for, but still utilizing the insights and all the knowledge and experience that she's had in general marketing and video marketing, because all of that is important in internal comms as well. Hopefully that helps, Brittany. All right, I think I got through all. What's the best way to stay up on trends and what is no longer in vogue? Richard Vanderblom is a very good person to follow for that. He puts out great carousels with great information, really attending different learning opportunities such as this one. I know AMA Boston, I'm sure, has a full schedule for you all. And another, let's see, Content Marketing Institute is another organization that I follow. And in fact, if you all are not familiar with Content Marketing World, it's a great conference every year. It's being held in September later this year, and I've got a workshop. So Content Marketing World. I think, is there any, I think I've made it through all the questions. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone, but if I did, I apologize. And if you've not connected with me yet, please do so, and definitely send your question my way. Yes, Amy, +1 to Content Marketing World. Awesome. Thank you so much, y'all. Those were great questions. I hope that what I shared with you, especially what's new and what's working for people, is helpful and valuable to you. I look forward to seeing all of your great content on LinkedIn. So definitely connect with me. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad, Chrissy. And yes, we'll be sharing the slide deck with the notes and things like that too.
Oh, this is awesome. And you did a great job. Let me tell you, learned so much today. And we'll get those slides out to everybody. And, you know, I tell you what, we're going to be, there'll be some homework. So we will be checking out some of your LinkedIn profiles on an ad hoc basis. So
yes, that worksheet is definitely homework.
Check out that worksheet, go through that.
And I would love to hear your feedback about that worksheet as well. Whenever I do these types of presentations, I always want to make sure that I give you something of value to work on after the fact.
And then for everyone, you know, all the attendees tonight, make sure Paul did click the survey. If we love to get 100% representation on the survey, we'll say how, like I said, it's so amazing that Anne, the job that Anne done tonight. Make sure you fill that out. Let us know. We'd like to learn in the future. Speaking of that, lots of stuff coming up in the next couple of days, next week, actually. We have a marketing mingle at King's Seaport. You'll see that on the event page on July 22nd. And then we have something really cool. It's like a marketing game show, Message Therapy Live with Joe Binge. I think I said his name right. That's on July 23rd. You'll see that on the event page. And then our next virtual networking event will be August 19th on Tuesday. It'll be like the third Tuesday of each month going forward. So you just check the event page. It will be updated with the virtual event very soon. I encourage you. I'd love to meet I think everyone here is from Boston, mostly. The greater Boston area, New England area. I'd love to meet you at the Marketing Mingle. It's going to be a great time next week, next Tuesday. I don't know if everyone's mic is blocked right now. Let's say if anyone has any last minute questions, let me know. Let us know. Right group. Time for dinner, I guess, huh, everyone?
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time. Great turnout tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yes, this was a great turnout. And thank you so much for all the questions and the engagement. And I've saved the chat so I can make sure that I connect with everyone and you know, definitely answer any questions I may have missed. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here.
Oh, the same one? I was just curious of that. You hit the dots. Save the chat. There's a new way to do it, right?
It's still just the 3 little dots, I guess the hamburger or whatever.
Yep, it's at the top right corner, everybody. Just top right corner of the chat. They moved it on us.
These platforms always changing things, got to keep you on your toes.
Emily, any past parting words?
No, thanks everyone for joining. This was a great session and I certainly learned a lot. So thank you.
Got my list of stuff here. I don't know if anyone sees it.
Awesome. Well, the next time I make it up to Boston, I will definitely hopefully be able to connect with y'all in person.
That'll be great. Come up. It's beautiful up here in the summer.
Yes,
A little hot, but it's nice.
I was gonna say you said hot and humid. I grew up in Houston. Hot, I know hot and humid. So, all right, guys, have a
All right.
great evening.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much again.
Awesome.